Dear students, yesterday we learned about, we try to understand what is the idealism of Hegel. Uh, Yesterday we also try to understand state as an organism and state as a mechanism. Yesterday we tried to understand the concept of idealism as against the concept of realism. So the entire philosophy of Hegel revolves around the concept of spirit or idea or spirit idea, which is known as Geist in German language. Uh, Spirit or Geist. So enables to reach a stage from ignorance to intelligence in the process of historical development of the universe. So how the world has been evolving is because of the evolution of human idea. So the entire civilization is based on an idea. That idea or the spirit moves from ignorance to knowledge. So more and more knowledge. Yesterday I gave you an example of how anything that is real is rational. This you have to understand. Rational will be real. So if you find any real thing in the world, for example, a real thing known as a mobile phone. So this mobile phone is able to exist because the idea behind that mobile phone is rational. Because it is rational, because the idea is rational, the idea behind the entire cell phone is rational, and because of that rationality, it could stand in the world. It could be seen in the world. So whatever real thing you will find is rational according to Hegel. But this is subject to a lot of criticism. He tried to legitimize uh, the reality. He tried to support the reality, whether that reality is good or bad. He tried to support it because that good or bad is able to exist because of the idea behind it was rational. So that we will see how this idea has been subject to a lot of criticism. That criticism we will find how the fascists try to support the state sovereignty or the excessive authority of the state, how individual was suppressed, how his freedom and liberty was suppressed. That we will know, that we will try to understand in the coming classes. See the so you have to understand whenever we talk about Hegel, you have to understand that idea is real. Here, idea is real means idea remains forever. The whatever real thing that is there. I gave you example of fan, the ceiling fan. The ceiling fan is broken down or it will disappear after some time. But the idea behind the ceiling fan is rational because the idea behind ceiling fan is rational. We could see the ceiling fan existing, uh, no, existing in the world now. So that is how we should understand. So how idea is important. Now let us understand. We are going to we are trying to understand two more important concepts with regard to the philosophy of Hegel. The The first philosophy, first concept is historical idealism. So when idea is applied to history, the whole history is nothing but the journey of spirit. So if you take any epoch or any stage of history, you will find the 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 main idea behind the existing world. Now, what is the main idea of the present existing world? See, for example, technology. There is domination of technology. So this technology, especially uh, with regard to internet or communication technology, uh, it has come to a stage where the idea behind the technology has been evolving. So the spirit is moving. If you take the ancient period, when human civilization was not that much developed as it is today. Why we consider ourselves to be the most developed civilization now? Because the idea is evolving, is improving. The idea of the spirit moving from knowing little to the stage where there is a lot of knowing. So that is how spirit is moving. Hegel defines the history as the process by which the spirit passes from knowing nothing. In the earlier stage, human beings knew nothing, knew only a little bit about the civilization, about anything, about his comfortable living, about his civilization, about the technology created. He knew very little uh, about the technology. Now there is a lot of knowing now, so there has been a lot of improvement that we will see at present. So it will further improve. The idea will keep on moving. So that is how he defines history as the process by which the spirit passes from knowing nothing to full knowledge of itself. This is what is history according to Hegel. History, therefore, is the progressive unfolding of the Geist, progressive unfolding, progressive evolution, or progressive improvement. It is a rational process. So, the mere existence of any idea shows the rationality behind it, the rational idea behind it. In the passage of history, rational is real and the real is rational. So, whatever you will see at present that is there, that is existing because of the idea behind it is rational, so reasonable. There must be some reasonability. So the journey of history is the journey of the progress of idea. This is very important. So here we have to understand that Hegel doesn't merely look at the real things. He's trying to look at the idea behind the real things. So his aim is to know the eternal aspect of the real world. So that eternal aspect of the real world is the idea. So this is very important. So the journey of history is the journey of the progress of idea. Now, after understanding the uh, historical idealism, how idea has been evolving since the time immemorial, which he termed as the historical idealism. Now, dialectical idealism. Here, you have understood idealism. What is idea and what is idealism? How idea is eternal, how idea is rational, how idea keeps moving from knowing little to knowing more, knowing lot. That we have tried to understand. Now, the dialectical idealism, how that idea just now we have tried to understand how idea is moving from knowing nothing to knowing more and more. But that idea, how idea moves forward, how idea is moving forward since time immemorial, how idea will move. The idea, the movement of idea, we try to understand the movement of idea from a very important concept, that is dialecticalism. Dialectic. What is dialectic? That you should understand now. So this, if you understand what is dialectic, then we are able to understand how idea moves on, how idea moves forward. The word dialectic is derived from Greek word dialego, which means to discuss or debate. So you must have learned about Plato and Aristotle. The Plato followed all his works are in the form of dialogue. So dialogue is a kind of conversation where you will try to arrive at truth by rejecting the irrational aspects. You keep on rejecting the irrational aspects, and you try to arrive at more and more rational things or rational idea. So when you dialogue, when you discuss about a particular thing, then you will arrive at truth. So this is the main important thing. So what is dialogue? See, I'll say one thing and you will say another thing. Then we will both try to find out the common ground. Then we keep on moving towards the final truth, towards the truth. According to Hegel, here a little bit a different meaning he has given. According to Hegel, the dialectic is the moment of spirit or idea in which a finite object or notion develops contradictions and passes over into its own negation. Such a dialectical movement occurs in thought, science, nature, and history. So, according to Hegel, how idea moves? See, you have an idea. Against that idea, you have complete a negative idea. Negative thing will be developed. So, this positive and negative will clash, and the positive and negative will create a new thing. How that happens? Let us try to understand. Hegel developed this theory on the basis of Greek thinkers' idea that each force will give birth to the opposite force. The Greeks observed that if anything was pushed too far, it would tend to produce its opposite. This is this is quite obvious. Whatever you have an idea, if when you keep on having that idea in your mind, after if you push it too far, then you will find quite an opposite idea to the idea that you have in your mind. How that is, let us see. For example, absolute monarchy is pushed too far. What do you mean by pushing too far? The monarchy means there is only one ruler. He is having all the powers, he exercises all the powers. So if he is having all the powers, he does not listen to anybody, even to the voice of the people, then he becomes despotic. He becomes a despotic ruler. So when a king, when a monarchy or when a king is trying to exercise all the powers, he doesn't listen to his ministers and the other important persons in the rule, in the governance, then he becomes despotic. It would result in violent reaction from the people. When when monarch or king enjoys all the powers without listening to the people, without listening to the people around him, then people would suffer and they would react. Similarly, if democracy is pushed too far to the extreme limit, what do you mean by democracy? Democracy means it is ruled by all the people. When all the people exercise power, then it results in emergence of indiscipline and lawlessness in the society. So when all the people exercise power, it would create indiscipline. Nobody knows who is exercising what power and who is taking decision, who is approving the decision. When people take quite opposing decisions, there will be complete indiscipline and lawlessness. So the extreme form of democracy would result in indiscipline and lawlessness. Similarly, the extreme form of monarchy would result in despotic rule and two people would revolt. So that is how. So when you have an idea for a long time, or if it is pushed too far, it would tend to create the opposite. So, for example, in human relations, if you have too much of love, then if you extend it too much, that would result in hate. So, love and hate, they move forward. To be positive and negative, they would move forward. And let us see how it functions again. Hegel believed that everything except reason or spirit, when it has reached its goal, contains both elements of itself and its opposite. This is very important. Everything, every system or anything, if you take anything, then you have that being and also and not being. Opposite of being is not being. This being and not being is neither completely true nor completely false. Between these opposites, a conflict begins, and this conflict produces a new third force synthesis. This is very important. So, so anything that is rational, he says, uh, anything that is not rational contains both the elements of being and not being, which is acceptable thing, and in that thing you will also find not acceptable. So they both conflict, they both fight, and that would the conflict would produce a third force, that is synthesis. Hegel viewed dialectics as the process through which logical ideas evolve, and these logical ideas in turn enable the progress of the universe. This is very important. What is dialectics against as what is dialectics according to Hegel is that it is a process through which logical ideas evolve, and these logical ideas in turn enable the progress of the universe. So, so the universe is progressing because of the idea behind the universe is dialectical in the process. Is dialectical. Hegel argued that the progress of the universe is not linear and it is marked by curvilinear objective. This is very important. You don't find only linear aspect, very clear or simple. It looks, though in theory it looks simple, but in practice it is so jigjaw. It is not linear. There is a lot of complexities involved. But the entire complexity, the underlying spirit, the underlying idea is that the idea behind the, the civilization is moving in a dialectical process. In a dialectical process means there are two opposite forces fighting and creating a synthesis. And after some time in that synthesis, a thesis will develop. And against the thesis, antithesis will develop. And thesis and antithesis will produce synthesis. So this is how world is progressing. Now you have technology. Technology is helping human beings a lot. At the same time, technology is also creating a lot of disturbance, lot of nuisance, lot of negativity. So this positivity and negativity, thesis and antithesis, will fight, and it would create a new thing. That new thing will remain for some time as long as it is rational. After some time, it becomes irrational. So see, we have created earlier, for example, black and white TV. After a lot of evolution of the idea behind TV, a TV was produced. So for some time, we enjoyed black and white TV. So it was rational for the time being. But after some time, we found the uh, the another improved version of the TV, color TV, because the black and white TV became suddenly irrational, or over a period of time it became irrational because people wanted more and more improved version of the TV. So the black and white TV disappeared and color TV appeared. Now in the place of color TV, you have LCD and LED TVs, and you have new versions of TVs with a lot of technological improvement. So only for some time you will enjoy. You will enjoy it as rational. After some time, that rationality becomes slowly irrational, and irrationality would produce a new thing. Synthesis would be produced. That synthesis will remain for some time. After some time, again that synthesis will turn out to be irrational, and synthesis and anti-synthesis would clash and produce a new thing. So that is how the world is moving. So this is a very important concept. For example, now the Hegel gave the example about what is thesis, what is antithesis, and what is synthesis. Let us try to understand what Hegel said. For example, the family emerged in the beginning to fulfill the biological needs of the human beings. So, see, after man was born on the earth, after a long time, after many years, he could invent agriculture, and he could create a family. So in the beginning, why family is created? To to meet his biological needs and the biological needs of human beings. A collective of some families is civil society. A few families together is known as civil society. Now you have to understand society and family, how he viewed, how he understood, how Hegel understood. While family is the thesis, society is antithesis. The resulting synthesis. See here. Here you have to understand. Family is thesis, where human beings move with a lot of love and affection. There is a lot of love and affection between family members, and there is no selfishness in the family. The members of the family are ready to sacrifice for the benefit or for the welfare of the members of other family members. So here family is this is in a positive sense, where you have a lot of love, affection, and mutual rights and duties. You know, so that is this is. But society, how human being behaves in the society. He behaves with a lot of selfishness. He tries to gain as much benefit as possible from the society, from the interaction, from his interaction with his fellow human beings. So the entire interaction of the fellow human being in the society is aimed at getting as much as possible. So he behaves so selfishly in the society. So the society, shows a kind of negative kind of behavior of human being, whereas family shows the positive side of the human being, whereas society shows the negative side of human being. So this positivity and negativity will be synthesized, and they get there is a lot of conflict between family and society, and that would be the conflict would result in the birth of the state, nation state. The conflict of thesis, antithesis, namely the family and bourgeoisie society, led to the emergence of higher power, namely the state, in which the contradictions are reconciled. What contradictions? The contradiction between family and society. In the family, human beings behave, with a lot of affection, with a lot of sacrifice in nature. But in the society, he behaves very selfishly, and he tries to, maximize his benefit as much as possible. So this reconciliation between family and society would result in the creation of the state. That is synthesis. So thesis, antithesis and synthesis. The thesis is a family, antithesis is a society, and society is a larger one which reconciles the family and the society. So this is how state is created according to Hegel, and this is how the the idea or spirit is moving. So this is very important. Now the state is rational. State is the rational. Now beyond the state, man is not able to create anything. Though he tried to create the international order, but that is at infant stage. Hegel tried to explain the process of social change through the dialectical method. In other words, dialectical method refers to the process whereby ideas are formed and progressed. This is very important. This is what Hegel tried to explain. So we have understood, we have tried to understand uh, the concept of historical idealism and dialectical idealism. These two concepts are very important.